Wings of Friendship. The airport terminal buzzed with the usual chaotic symphony of travelers. Overhead, the departure board flickered erratically, announcing delay after delay. For the weary souls awaiting their respective flights, the atmosphere was a strange mix of frustration, resignation, and the faint hope of reaching their destinations on time. Among the crowd, Linda found herself stuck in an uncomfortable plastic chair, her eyes scanning the terminal. She had an important meeting in New York, and the longer she waited, the more her stress levels grew. Her fingers drummed impatiently on her laptop, the only distraction she had from the never-ending airport announcements. On the opposite side of the terminal, Jacob was trying to suppress his frustration. He was a musician on his way to Los Angeles for a once-in-lifetime gig, but the airline's lack of urgency was threatening to jeopardize his performance. He sighed and gazed out the window at the tarmac, wishing he could take flight himself. As time crept by, Linda decided to check the departure board once more, hoping for a miracle. But when she saw her flight delayed for another hour, she couldn't help but release a frustrated sigh. Her phone buzzed with a message from her boss, who was growing impatient. Jacob, on the other hand, had his guitar with him. He decided to pass the time by playing a soft tune to calm his nerves. Strumming the strings, the gentle melody filled the terminal, drawing the attention of a few passengers. A sense of calm spread around him as people paused to listen. Linda, engrossed in her own world of anxiety, couldn't help but notice the soothing music in the distance. Intrigued, she decided to investigate the source of this beautiful sound. As she approached Jacob, she noticed the crowd gathering around him and listened, her worries momentarily forgotten. The music carried her away from her own troubles. The world around her seemed to fade as she closed her eyes and allowed the melody to wash over her. Linda was transported to a different place, a world where the concept of time was irrelevant. When Jacob finished his song, the small audience around him burst into applause. He smiled, grateful for the appreciation. Opening her eyes, Linda noticed Jacob for the first time. His tousled hair and easy smile intrigued her, and she approached him, clapping along with the others. "Wow, that was incredible," Linda said, still moved by the music. "You have a gift." Jacob grinned, his dark eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. "Thank you. It's my way of coping with this airport madness." "I can understand that," Linda replied with a hint of a chuckle. "I've been here for hours, and my flight keeps getting delayed." Jacob nodded in understanding. "I'm in the same boat. I was supposed to be on my way to LA for a gig." They exchanged stories of their travel woes, and for the first time in hours, Linda found herself genuinely enjoying a conversation. Jacob's easygoing nature and his ability to find joy in difficult circumstances intrigued her. They decided to grab a cup of coffee together, a respite from the chaos of the terminal. As they sipped their drinks and chatted, Linda learned more about Jacob. He was a singer, songwriter who had been chasing his musical dreams for years. His resilience in the face of countless setbacks inspired her. Linda, on the other hand, was a young executive at a tech startup. She shared her aspirations and her dream of making a difference in the world. She talked about the New York meeting and the pressure she felt to succeed. "What about you, Linda?" Jacob asked. "What's your passion outside of work?" Linda hesitated for a moment, as if she had never been asked that question before. "I used to love photography, but it's been a while since I picked up a camera. Work has consumed most of my time." Jacob's eyes twinkled with curiosity. "Why did you stop?" Linda shrugged, a hint of melancholy in her eyes. "Life, I guess. Responsibilities, bills to pay. I just haven't had the time or motivation to pursue it." Jacob nodded in understanding. "You know, sometimes all it takes is a little push to rekindle your passions. You should give it another shot." Linda smiled, appreciating the sentiment. "Maybe I will, Jacob." Their conversation flowed effortlessly, their unexpected friendship forming like a spark in the midst of life's turbulence. As the hours passed and the terminal remained crowded, Linda and Jacob continued to share stories, dreams, and laughter. The delay was extended yet again, and the two of them decided to explore the airport together. They discovered a quiet corner with a large window overlooking the tarmac. Sitting side by side, they gazed out at the airplanes coming and going. "Sometimes, I wish I could just fly away from all this," Jacob mused. Linda nodded in agreement. "Me too. I wish I could fast forward to that meeting and get it over with." As the sun began to set, they watched the sky turn shades of orange and pink. The airport's bustling energy seemed to calm with the fading daylight, and Linda and Jacob continued to talk about their hopes and aspirations. The more they shared, the more they realized how similar their dreams were. Linda's passion for photography and Jacob's love for music were both creative pursuits that had taken a back seat to their demanding careers. They had both lost touch with their artistic sides in the pursuit of stability and success. Linda recalled a specific moment from her childhood, a time when photography was her source of joy and inspiration. She used to capture the beauty of everyday life, turning ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. Jacob, in turn, shared stories of the first time he picked up a guitar and the rush of emotions that came with his first song. "Maybe it's time we reclaim those passions," Jacob suggested, his voice filled with determination. "We've been waiting for flights all day. Why don't we use this time to rediscover our creativity?" Linda raised an eyebrow, intrigued by the idea. "You mean, start now?" "Why not?" Jacob replied with a grin. "Let's challenge ourselves. Take a photo or write a song right here, right now. Let's see where our creativity leads us." Linda hesitated for a moment, but the prospect of rekindling her love for photography was too enticing to resist. "All right, challenge accepted." They set out with their respective creative endeavors. Linda, using her phone, started capturing moments around the terminal, finding beauty in the mundane. She snapped photos of people waiting, tired travelers, airport staff, and even the changing sky outside. Jacob strummed his guitar, trying to compose a song inspired by their shared experience. The notes flowed freely from his fingertips, and the melody that emerged was a reflection of the hope, frustration, and camaraderie they had experienced throughout the day. As they worked on their projects, they occasionally shared their progress with each other. Linda showed Jacob some of her favorite photos, and he played snippets of the song he was crafting. Their creativity fueled one another, and they found themselves lost in the art of the moment. Hours passed, and the terminal slowly emptied as flights began to depart. Linda and Jacob's flight, however, remained grounded. But by this point, they no longer cared about the delay. They had rediscovered their passions, and their connection had deepened. The announcement for their flight finally came, and they reluctantly gathered their belongings. They exchanged contact information, promising to share their creations when they were finished. It was a bittersweet moment as they boarded their separate flights, knowing they were leaving behind a newfound friend. Over the following weeks, Linda and Jacob continued to inspire each other from across the country. Linda delved back into photography, discovering a renewed sense of purpose in capturing the world through her lens. She shared her photos with Jacob, who was genuinely impressed by her talent. Jacob, in turn, completed the song he had started at the airport. He recorded it and sent it to Linda, who was moved by the depth of emotion in the music. It was a reminder of the special bond they had formed during that unexpected delay. As time went on, Linda and Jacob continued to pursue their creative passions with newfound determination. Linda's photography began to gain recognition, and she received invitations to exhibit her work. Jacob's music started to gain a following, and he was offered more opportunities to perform. Their friendship and shared creative journey continued to flourish, becoming a source of motivation and inspiration in their lives. They encouraged each other to take risks, step out of their comfort zones, and chase their dreams. Their connection transcended the miles that separated them, proving that true friendship knows no boundaries. Years passed, and Linda and Jacob's paths crossed once again. They found themselves at a music and arts festival in a remote, picturesque location. Linda was exhibiting her photography, and Jacob was headlining the festival as a celebrated musician. The moment they saw each other, the years melted away, and their friendship felt as strong as ever. Linda's photographs beautifully adorned the festival, capturing the essence of the event, while Jacob's music set the perfect ambience for the occasion. Together, they realized how far they had come from that fateful day at the airport. The delay had brought them together, and their shared pursuit of creativity had transformed their lives. They had become a source of inspiration not only for each other but for everyone they touched through their art. In the years that followed, Linda and Jacob continued to inspire others with their story. They proved that even in the most unexpected places and during the most frustrating moments, friendships can form and dreams can be rekindled. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.